Go ahead and talk about the game Thursday night. Again, you know, it was obviously disappointing, extremely disappointing. You know, when you play an opponent like that, and I say an opponent like that, really regardless of who you play, you turn over the football 9 times, and rarely, if ever, are you going to give yourself a chance to win. So, you know, it's what I saw Thursday night. You know, I liked our preparation last week. The guys, I felt like were ready to play, but we didn't execute in terms of taking care of the football. So that was disappointing, and you saw the outcome. You know, I've never been a part of that before. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. They scored 4 non-offensive touchdowns, and the game went from 14-14 with under 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter to 45-14 before there were 3 minutes gone in the third quarter. So it got away from us in that short amount of time. You know, I think we brought in Crawford Jones, and was not perfect, but did a good job of executing the offense and getting points on the board for us. You know, finishing out the game and playing over a half of football. Moving forward, and I say this every week, and again, you know, we're playing a UTEP team coming in here in 4 days that, again, on video is a talented football team. And, you know, you look at the records of the teams we're playing, and, you know, I don't think those really do justice for the quality of opponents. They can be extremely explosive on offense. I know, like us, they've got a quarterback that's banged up a little bit, and will obviously prepare as though he'll be playing. And I think, and so do the coaches throughout the league, think he's one of the better quarterbacks in Conference USA this season. They've got some 3 or 4 running backs that can all make plays, and then the receiving game, they've got a couple of receivers. You know, Jordan Leslie, a kid here from Houston, is a big target for them in the passing game, and I know him. I remember him in high school. So defensively, they're aggressive. They're multiple. They like to blitz quite a bit. You know, they're holding opponents to 26 points a game. They're doing a nice job, and they've played a quality non-conference schedule as well. So be a big challenge for us, and again, it's more about what we've got to do than who we're playing. So we've got to take care of the football. If we do that, we'll give ourselves a chance to win. So I'll take any, bless you, I'll take any questions.
Tony, we talked about this last night, but just for the sake of the press conference, can you give us what you know right now about David Pyland and going forward?
David Pyland will not practice today. He's still listed as day-to-day, and we continue to evaluate his health every morning. And it was determined this morning that he's not ready to do any physical activity. We'll reevaluate him again tomorrow.
Can you talk a little bit about Crawford Jones and his performance against SMU, and how he's going about preparing in case he needs to take the starting role this week?
Well, Crawford, number one, he's preparing as though he's going to be the starter, and that's how we're preparing him. So, you know, we'll know more obviously in the next day or two, but we're preparing him as though he'll be the starter, and Bram as though he'll be the number 2 quarterback. And you know, I think it's we say this all the time, and I think what we saw Thursday night was a good example of it. If you're a backup, you got to be ready to become the starter with one play, and we saw that Thursday. And I think Crawford came in. The thing that stands out about him, not only I think was he ready and prepared. He's been in the offense for 5 years now, but I liked his poise and his demeanor out there. You know, again, his background being a being a walk-on. We awarded him a scholarship a few months ago, and it was a Thursday night game on national television, and it didn't faze him at all. He came in there. Again, it wasn't perfect. Had a couple of turnovers, but directed our offense down the field. Made the appropriate checks. Made some good throws. Scrambled a bit. So I liked how he came in, ready to take on that responsibility, to take that role, and I liked, for the most part, how he performed. It was, I think, what you see sometimes. And I don't know that you didn't see this a couple years ago, is when a guy gets injured, how are his teammates going to react to him? And I thought the 10 guys in the huddle per se with Crawford had a bunch of belief and a bunch of confidence in his ability to lead our offense.
You talk a little about DJ Hayden's performance this season. Big pick six. He's improving.
DJ Hayden, he's a special young man in a number of ways, and you may disagree with the comment, but I'm going to make it because we watch film on him every day. He's getting better as the season goes on. He would admit to you that early in the season he left a couple interceptions on the field, and in the last, I'd say, 4 games, he's really gotten better every week and stepped up his play. I thought the interception for a touchdown, he did a great job kind of baiting SMU's quarterback to make that throw and broke on it, and the rest was history on that play. So doing a great job. You look back at UAB, they had a 4th down play where they threw a hitch toward their sideline. He breaks on it and bats the ball away. So he's made some big plays. Not a whole lot of offenses are going after him. I made a point to let the team know last week, Louisiana Tech has one of the better receivers in the nation, and every week that they play, he's lighting up the scoreboard and padding his statistics, and we put DJ on him in week 2, and that young man had 4 catches for, I think, 36 yards. So DJ's as good a corner as I've been around. And I've been around some good ones. So, and what he does in terms of his leadership role for us is something that you really can't put into words.
Coach, can you kind of address Deontay Greenberry the last few weeks? It seems like after a few games, he's finally kind of gotten into a rhythm and been able to get off to a good start in some of the games.
Deontay, and again, it's when you talk about a true freshman coming in, I don't know how many true freshmen were playing off the top of my head, somewhere around 8 or 9, I want to say. But, if we're playing 8 or 9 true freshmen, that means about 20 of them or so are redshirting. And of the true freshmen playing, some are playing it more extensively than others. And Deontay's a guy like DJ Hayden who's getting better every week. He and I talked in my office early last week, and I just told him, you got to get better every day at one thing. And we're seeing that right now. He's a guy that when the ball is in the air, regardless of maybe how accurate it is or what type of catch it's going to be, while the ball's in the air being thrown to number 3, you feel like it's going to be caught somehow. And again, I told him this in my office last week. He's already looking back on himself a year ago when he was the best high school football player in the state of California, and saying to himself, man, I've gotten so much better already. And in the same regard, he's looking back at weeks 1, 2, and 3 and saying, I'm already better now than I was then. And what I told him is, a year from now, you're going to look back on this season and say how much better you are at that point once you're a sophomore. So he's getting better every week, and he's getting better at the things, that aren't, you look and say, well, he caught 6 balls for 90-something yards, so he's getting better. But what people aren't seeing is him, pushing the depth of his routes, getting his pad level down, bursting out of his breaks, blocking away from the ball. Those are the little things that he and I are talking about that he's getting better at every week. So the sky's the limit for him and I'm proud of the work he's putting in right now to get to this point.
Also on the receivers, do you have any updates on Isaiah Sweeney in terms of do you expect him at all and like Andrew Rodriguez and those guys?
Isaiah Sweeney and I met in my office yesterday, and we're going to try to see if he can practice next Monday. We're going to give it one more week. He said he feels really, really good, but he felt really, really good 3 weeks ago, came out in practice and had a little setback. So he and I talked about, he said, I feel the same way I did 3 weeks ago, so we agreed to let's give it one more week and try it next Monday. Andrew Rodriguez, it's a slow healing process for his injury, and it's probably going to be a few more weeks till we make a decision, and at that point then we've got to decide, do we play him in the final 2 or 3 games of the season to use this year, or do we try to get this year back and let him kind of use this if we can as a medical redshirt?
Coach, just what are you saying to the team to just keep them focused and try to put last week in the past and move on this week?
Well, the thing I've always told the team is the truth. And the first thing I told them in our team meeting yesterday was 9 turnovers cost us the football game. So, again, I told them I thought they did a nice job in their preparation leading up to the game. I thought they were ready to play. We turned the football over. And if you turn the football over more than the other team does, statistically, you're going to lose. You turn it over 9 times, I say you've got no chance. So they understand that, and they understand we have to take care of the football, whether it's on offense, whether it's on special teams, or whether, and we talked about this going into the game, that we felt like we were going to have some turnover opportunities defensively. We had to take care of it when we were returning interceptions, and we did. And the second thing I told them is our goals are still out in front of us. We control our destiny. So we've got 33 days and 5 games. And it starts with UTEP in 4 days. And, if we do the things we did in the previous 3 games, tackle on defense, take care of the football on offense, and cut down on penalties, which we had 9 Thursday night, we'll be fine. And our goals are still right there in front of us at this point of the season. So everything's still out there to play for. Everything's still out there. And again, it starts with our preparation and how we execute and play this Saturday afternoon against UTEP.
Coach, on those moves at defensive end, some of them have to do with Lloyd, and do you have an update on him? I mean, is that kind of why?
Lloyd Allen's getting better. Hopefully we'll have him back next week. He's able to run straight ahead right now. He's not really able to change direction without having a little bit of pain, so we're going to continue to treat him and get him healthy and reevaluate him physically on Monday. So best case scenario is he would play next week. So I would list him as out for this week's game. So that's, I don't know if you're referring to both sides. We need to get some more production out of our defensive end position, and so we're gonna move Eric Braswell, who has played defensive end in the past. I think he's got a tremendous future inside at defensive tackle, but we're going to move him out and rotate him with Zeke Reiser at the right end to see if we can get some more production out of that position this week. I'm going to talk, if there's no more questions, we've got a special uniform we're doing for homecoming in a couple of weeks. Last year for homecoming we did throwback jerseys and uniforms, and this year for homecoming, I'm not sure whose idea it was. I'm not taking credit for it. I think it's a fantastic idea. But somebody in the administration, instead of throwback, uniforms that we're going to go with throw forward uniforms. So I'll show you what the jersey is going to look like. I'm not sure that we're revealing what the helmet is going to look like at this point. But after our game, our homecoming game, we're going to, like we did last season, we're going to auction off these jerseys online. So I'll move this red. And again, the helmet's going to be a little bit different, but I don't know that we're going to show that until the game in a few weeks. All right, thank you.